I'm the Hardcore Gamer, these are ROM Carts, and this is The Breakdown. Back in the early days of the internet, console emulation and game ROMs were all the rage, with boring nerds doing the Lord's work and coding emulators from scratch designed to play their favourite games of yesteryear. And with the new power of the World Wide Web, it was the perfect tool to make sure these emulators and game ROMs got distributed worldwide. You can steal all kinds of shit. Nowadays it's a lot easier to play these old games, with official services like the Sega Ages app and the Switch Classic downloads, and even sophisticated machines like the NES, Snes and PlayStation Classic mini consoles, all designed to relive that Cheeto haze nostalgia. Then, there are the more morally dubious ways to play your old faves. Emulators and methods to distribute and download game ROMs still exist. Machines like the Raspberry Pi range and the Retron 5 allow these emulators and games to be stored and played through your TV instead of being stuck sat at a computer monitor. Hacks for all the previous mentioned classic mini consoles, various Android phones and even PSPs are available too. But with the advent of ROM carts, which allow you to play these ROMs on original hardware, you can now game away as God herself intended. Sort of. I have a bunch of these carts, so this is what we're going to take a look at today. So strap in, leave your conscience at the door as we take a trip to these things. Let's start with this one, probably the most well known of these carts, the R4 for the Nintendo DS. Yeah, this unassuming little silver square, the same size and shape as a normal DS cart, but with a slot up top for a MicroSD card. So how does it work? Well, it's as simple as smashing that like button, hitting subscribe and that bell icon to see more videos from me. You just stick it in your DS and you're away. You do need to load game ROMs onto it first, which is also pretty simple. Firstly, obtain ROMs, available from many online resources if you know where to look. I'm not going to tell you how to do this, go do your own dirty work. Then, jam the microSD into your card reader, set up the correct folders, then just drag and drop your game ROMs into the ROMs folder. Next, put that microSD in your R4, then insert the R4 into your DS in the usual manner, and voila! Games for fucking days, mate! The R4 has some nice menu screens, with numerous themes available to customise your experience. There are also options to pre-install cheat codes and stuff like that. Apologies for this filming off the DS screen thing, but I don't have a fancy DS capture card, so you're going to have to make do. Heading into the games menu, you can see all of the ROMs you've just lovingly installed, so hit a button to start. There's a folder for game saves too, so you can play and save to your heart's content. When the game is playing, it's the exact same experience as playing it on a legit cart. Everything works as it should, including game saves, standby mode, and even local multiplayer through Wi-Fi, which is cool. So yeah, the R4 is a decent little cart, and a great way to experience the joys of the DS library without trawling through the aisles in your local CEX. Next up is this little pair of beauties, that's what she said, the Super Pro Remix and the EDMD Remix for Snes and Mega Drive respectively. Now these are very similar, so I'm going to take a look at these at the same time to compare and contrast. First things first, the carts themselves. As you can see, they are actual size replicas of the original carts for their respective consoles. And they also both have microSD card slots for storing your ROM libraries. But taking a look at the labels shows you that these are slightly different to the R4, as these beauties both come preloaded with virtually every game you could want. These beauties come from the depths of AliExpress and are definitely more on the shady side of the morally grey area of ROMs and emulation. So how do these work? Well, similar to the R4, these operate just the same as any old game cart. Cram them in your console and fire that bad boy up. You're greeted with a definitely no frills menu, but here's where it gets interesting. Heading into the games menus brings up subfolders for different regions, so you can play multiple different versions of the titles listed, or even some region exclusive titles. There's an absolute shit ton of games on these, with pretty much any game you could possibly want for either system, from the super common £5 at Games Fair stuff to the region exclusive £300 plus loose cart on eBay stuff. And for that reason, I'd say they're definitely worth it. Once the ROM is loaded, which can take a minute or two, It's in the cart's memory, meaning if you hit reset, the same game's going to load. To get back to the ROMs menu, you have to power off the console entirely. Also, if you look in the menus and subfolders of these, you get these little about the cart screens. And it's here you can see, they're just bootleg EverDrives. Sorry EverDrive. So, putting this SD card into my computer.
You know what? I bought this AliExpress. There's no way in hell this is going in my computer.
Also, the EDMD Remix cart contains a whole bunch of Master System games, which is great for someone like me who doesn't actually own a Master System. All in all, I think these things are actually pretty neat. Yeah, they're morally dubious and technically software piracy, but I like the convenience and the, I guess, legitimacy of being able to play them on actual official hardware rather than using an emulator. There's nothing like that feeling of using a real console and a proper controller, sitting in front of your TV in your pants with a bowl of Frosties and losing yourself in a game. And yeah, I'm not showing that. Plus, having virtually every game ever for these retro consoles is a super convenient thing for running a YouTube channel, I've got to say. I can't really in good faith recommend them due to the possible legal dubiousness of them, but if you were to seek them out then I'm sure you get your mileage out of them. I like them, you might like them too. Anyways, I've been the Hardcore Gamer. Join me next time for a much better video, but for now, I guess I've got too much choice of games, so I'll just go back to watching YouTube videos again then. Oh well. Hey folks, me again, and thank you for watching this particular video. If you like what you've seen, please hit that like button, and if you want to hear more from me, please hit that subscribe button. I've got loads of cool stuff coming up you won't want to miss. All my socials are on screen right now, so follow me on all those. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you soon.